Since the Oblivion Remastered has released, many people are saying that it blows Skyrim out of the water, but it made me appreciate it even more. That doesn't mean that Oblivion isn't great, and that is what today's video is all about. After my previous videos where I compared 5 things each game did better than each other, today is the day where I give my final verdict, a verdict of which game I think is better and truly more enjoyable for me. Now, they outclass each other in many things. I like to think if you put these games together, you quite literally get the perfect RPG with loading screens. Of course, a disclaimer that I do love and appreciate both of these games. They have changed the RPG world forever and will always be remembered. But if you are a fan of these kinds of videos, or just Elder Scrolls videos in general, please be sure to subscribe and drop any video ideas that you'd like to see in the comments. So we'll go through first what Oblivion actually does better than Skyrim. For me, Oblivion's urban design is one of the cornerstones of its excellence, delivering cities that are both expansive and distinct. Now, the Imperial City in particular exemplifies this, functioning as a multifaceted hub with specialized districts. The Market City, the Arena, the Arcane University, every single area that you find in this city, I like to think has its own unique sort of feel. Smaller cities as well do maintain this quality. Anvil's coastal architecture in particular leverages its seaside setting for aesthetic and cultural depth. Bruma's Nordic atmosphere as well also contains that sort of regional resilience, if you understand where I'm coming from. It has a completely different vibe to the rest of the places, and it truly does help make the region of Cyrodiil special and unique every single corner you go to. Now, by contrast with Skyrim cities such as Whiterun or Riften, they are more compact and they're less unique, to put it bluntly. Whiterun's central mead hall and modest mark lack the Imperial City's complexity, and Riften's canal-centric design, whilst very atmospheric, doesn't quite match Anvil's coastal grandeur for me. Although I did just give 2 of Skyrim's best cities as the example, so that is kind of harsh from me. Now, another area where Oblivion does truly excel over Skyrim is the quest design, offering narratives that do prioritize depth, variety, and a bit more moral complexity. The Dark Brotherhood questline stands as the pinnacle for me, possibly the best Elder Scrolls quest ever made, and they do that through layered contracts and narrative shifts that challenge your loyalty. As well as that, you have the Daedric quests, such as Mephal's manipulation in Bleaker's Way, which incites a conflict in a village, or Molagbal's psychological harrowing task to break a rival, and these all demand ethical reflection, elevating them beyond mere objectives, but more so moral choices of how good of a person you actually are. These quests are all supported by dialogue that also feels purposeful and choices that actually do carry weight. Now, Skyrim's quests, whilst engaging with dragon slaying spectacles and guild-driven action, often do prioritize combat over narrative depth, and its Radiant quests in particular, such as the repetitive bandit clearings, dilute the experience for me. Oblivion's storytelling, however, does set a high bar for RPG quest design in general that Skyrim's sort of broader strokes don't consistently reach. Cyrodiil is a whirlwind of diverse adventures, and in Oblivion Remastered you can truly experience that. There is so much vibrancy that comes from Oblivion's concept depth and its variety. The 4 major factions outnumber Skyrim's 3, delivering more role-playing paths. Environments range from snowy Bruma to the swampy Leyawiin and the lush plains, offering a bit more diversity than Skyrim's snowy-dominated holds. I think in terms of content variety, Oblivion has that. Every single area of the map feels unique, from the cities to the environments, and it's just something that Skyrim cannot quite match. But we've done our Oblivion glazing for this video. Let's move on to what Skyrim actually does a lot better than Oblivion now. I've highlighted Skyrim's qualities before: its breathtaking world, refined mechanics, and replayability, and these elements shine even brighter against Oblivion Remastered's backdrop. While fans champion Oblivion's depth, Skyrim counters with a design philosophy that prioritizes immersion, accessibility, and mainly longevity. Skyrim's world design is a triumph of environmental immersion, delivering a Tamriel that feels both expansive and responsive. Now, the one thing that in particular separates Skyrim from Oblivion for me, one word: immersion. The social framework in particular of Skyrim helps elevate this immersion for a populated world that prioritizes reliability and sort of a connection. Unlike Oblivion cities, which I've criticized for their lack of children and just environment in general, that sounded really wrong then. Skyrim integrates younger NPCs to create a more vibrant community. The companion system as well, a feature that I've praised, fosters personal bonds. Followers like Lydia, Serena accompany the player, carry their gear, and offer context sensitive commentary. They just make that part of the adventure feel a little bit less lonely, and that is something that one of the comments in my previous video mentioned, which is such a great point. As well as the companion systems, marriage and adoption helps deepen the immersion even more, allowing players to wed NPCs like Alea or adopt orphans like Sophie, who engage in domestic activities like playing or adopting pets. Oblivion's absence of persistent followers, spouses, or children results in a solitary experience for me, despite its robust NPC schedules. Skyrim's social systems, while less intricate than Oblivion's dialogue-heavy routines, create that emotional anchor that enhances player investment. Now, to move on to a different point about Skyrim's superiority to Oblivion, gameplay mechanics, in particular combat, mark a significant advancement in Skyrim. Now, Oblivion's combat, and even in the remaster, remains hindered by floaty animations, sluggish blocking, and very simplistic spell visuals. Now, as I've noted previously, Skyrim introduced a dynamic system, dual wielding enabling combinations like sword and fireball, mounted combat allowing archery from horseback, and as well as that cinematic kill moves. Now, Oblivion did have spellcrafting, which offered more creative flexibility, but it did lack the execution of Skyrim's polished and responsiveness with spells, rendering combat as a weaker link for Oblivion. Now, another area where Skyrim excels is the progression. I've called Oblivion's leveling system problematic for a long time, with its aggressive scaling, producing late game bandits in glass or ebony armor, disrupting immersion for me. And Skyrim employed a hybrid model using level ranges, so you had bandit camps like Silent Moon's cap at 15 with leather-clad foes, whilst dragons scale to maintain challenge. Now, something that just cannot not be mentioned is Skyrim's dungeon design, a point I have emphasized for its superiority many times. Now, each dungeon is handcrafted, offering a unique experience for every single dungeon that you go into. Nordic tombs, Dwemer ruins, and Falmer layers offer visual and mechanical variety, unlike Oblivion's repetitive Aelid ruins, which even the remastered visuals just cannot seem to save. Skyrim excels through its immersive world, interconnected social systems, refined combat, and balanced progression, surpassing Oblivion in delivering a modern, enduring RPG experience. But which of the two is actually better? Now, with both of these games dissected, the question remains, did Oblivion Remastered prove Skyrim is better? I have analysed these games extensively, from Oblivion's intricate quests to Skyrim's dynamic world, and the remastered has opened this debate to which is actually better. Now, many people could argue that Oblivion surpasses Skyrim, and its strengths are truly formidable. However, in this conclusion, I've evaluated both titles, and I've determined why I actually think Skyrim emerges as the superior experience. Now, like I previously said, Oblivion excels in delivering that meticulously crafted RPG experience, particularly in its urban and narrative domains. The cities are brilliant, expansive and diverse, although they're quite thin in terms of the NPCs surrounding them. The world has a lot to offer, each area being unique, and it's something I can truly appreciate. Skyrim, however, just really redefines immersion through a holistic approach that integrates environmental, social, and mechanical design to foster more of a deeper emotional connection for me. Now, what I previously said there, is that actually true, however? Or is it just an edgy, weird, unique way just to say that I'm blinded by nostalgia, maybe? But also, you could be as well. Maybe you think Oblivion is truly better than Skyrim and there's no debate, but are you also blinded by nostalgia if you grew up with this game like I did with Skyrim? It truly is a matter of opinion, and I don't think anyone is wrong in this sort of scenario, because they're both, like I said, fantastic games that really redefine the genre. But for me, the deciding factor between these two games lies in immersion's impact on the player experience, the player being me, and it's where Skyrim holds the edge. Now, Oblivion's strengths are rooted in systemic complexity, and that is obvious because Skyrim's streamlined approach. However, these elements, while intellectually engaging, demand active investment to fully appreciate, and Oblivion's lack of personal connections and the static world can actually distance players emotionally from it. Skyrim's immersion, by contrast, it's immediate and visceral. The interplay of its responsive environments, relatable social systems, and redefined mechanics create for me a Tamriel that actually feels more like a living extension of the player's journey, not just a stage for it. The ability to forge bonds, whether with Serena, who you'll never marry, or Sophie's domestic joys, ground a player in ways Oblivion's solitary heroism just cannot. Oblivion Remastered is a triumph of RPG craft with its narrative depth, and is a testament to its legacy, but Skyrim's immersive cohesion, its ability to make players feel a part of Tamriel, deliver a more enduring impact. And for these reasons, Skyrim emerges as the stronger title in my opinion. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave your opinion in the comments below. Am I completely out of my mind wrong? Are you going to hate on me forever? Just be open and honest. I don't mind, honestly. If you did get any sort of joy out of this video, please be sure to consider subscribing as well. I really do appreciate all of the support, and have a great rest of your day.